to episode 437 of In Touch by iOS, the podcast that keeps you connected to the ever-changing Apple ecosystem. I am your host, Dave Ginsburg. Each week, we break down the latest news, updates, tips, and hidden features across iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Mac, Vision Pro, and the Apple TV, all with insights from friends, experts, and the Apple community, because here we read the release notes so you don't have to. So glad everybody's here this week. Looks like we got a great panel, as always. And let me start with Jill McKinley. She is here. How are you? Glad you're here.
Oh, I'm doing fine. I am glad it is the end of a brutal week.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy for me too. But yes, that's the problem with working. It gets rough.
I don't know about that anymore.
I know you don't. Soon enough for me. Marty Jencius is here. How are you doing, Marty?
You know, I'm starting to get into that beginning of the semester bunch of stupid meetings that could be emails.
Yeah.
This class could have been an email.
Then the email about the meeting we're going to have the day before the meeting that we're going to talk about the meeting we're going to have the next day. And what we're going to do at that meeting.
Yep.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad it's the weekend.
Cool. I'm glad you're here. Also glad that he is here is Guy Serle. How you doing?
Hey! Hello, everybody. Yeah, Marty and I recorded the latest G-Man episode, which is already up because I'm a day late and $1 short getting that up there. Wife has left me, but she's going to come back. Maybe. And I helped my son
He's a
Peter.
bachelor.
Yeah. Which should just scare the crap out of it scares the crap out of me, I'll tell you that right now. I can feed myself. That's not the problem. But everything else for the rest of the day is like, I don't know what I'm doing. So, but I am here. I did manage to make it here. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for being here. Also here, he made it as Eric Bolden. How you doing, Eric? In an undisclosed location.
Always moving, always hiding. Glad to be here, though, because my next stop is inside a barn, waiting for dairy goats to walk in.
Nice.
That sounds like a new podcast.
You really know how to party.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Well, thank you for being here. And also, last but certainly not least, Jeff Gamet. How you doing, Jeff?
Dave Ginsburg. It's great to be here. Sorry that I had to miss last week. But in my defense, I was at Black Hat.
Black Hat. Yeah.
Or were you?
That was could have been a mystery. So, all right, we've got lots of great content to discuss this week. Always something going on in the world of Apple. Let's go through the stuff we always talk about, starting off with In Touch with Vision Pro. I know we got excited about this on Vision Profiles, Marty and I at least, is the fact that Apple is bringing back live Friday Night Baseball at Apple Immersive Video. Select MLB games will be streaming live 8K on your 3D Vision Pro. I can't wait to see these games, even though it's the damn Dodgers.
Yeah. We can hate watch.
That's okay. Yeah.
Go Brooklyn.
Go Brooklyn.
Oh, wrong Dodgers. Sorry.
Los Angeles Dodgers.
No, that was the same Dodgers, but 1957 last year they were in Brooklyn.
Go Duck Dodgers.
I like the Brooklyn Dodgers.
In the 24.5 century.
I knew you'd get the reference.
Of course I would.
Yeah. But this is also going to be available on the iPhone and I believe the iPad as well. Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to at least get a taste of what it looks like, but nothing compares it being on a Vision Pro. I know, Eric, you're not a big baseball fan, but you're going to be watching. I just know it.
Absolutely.
And heck, I would watch if I had one.
Yeah. Well, that's fixable.
Yeah.
$3,500.
Get Chuck to upgrade, and all of a sudden, So I'm looking forward to it. The more times something is shown live, because that takes quite a bit of extra effort, I want to watch how that's pulled off.
Yeah, I think also they're going to have sound microphones around the stadium. So at certain points, you're going to get not only camera, but you're also going to get sound. The one sound that you can't turn off are the god-awful announcers that Apple has.
That's too bad.
Yes.
They should just go with the local guys or local gals to do the play-by-play because they know the team, and it's not all this happy-clappy stuff that the announcers have that you hear, not just in baseball, but in all other sports too. So it would be wonderful if there was a way to turn that sound down or selectively, particularly in Vision Pro, where they could put in and implement various controls. You could just go in and let's keep the crowd noise, and let's shut off the announcers so we can watch the game like we watch a game.
Mm-hmm.
Where you don't have play-by-play announcers. So,
yeah,
I agree with you. The way to watch baseball is you turn off the announcers and you turn on the radio and you listen to Bob Uecker, and that is how baseball goes.
Well, that'd be a little tough now.
That would be an announcement.
It's a little tough right now, right?
It's the late Bob Uecker. Yeah, he was awesome.
But that's how you watch.
But he'll be feeling better.
Jeff,
soon,
just
I'm
to
sure.
Jeff, just to explain this is these bunch of guys wearing costumes. So.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's a sports thing.
I do remember Bob Uecker because he was in that one comedy baseball movie.
Yeah, Mr. Belvedere.
Yeah. But he was in that.
Oh yeah, he was in
Major League.
Major League.
Or Major League.
With, Charlie Sheen.
Hot Shots was a great movie.
I guess it's time for me to start drinking again.
That was Airplane. That was Airplane.
Yeah, that was.
No,
I picked a bad week to stop sniffing glue. That's
Lloyd Bridges. Lloyd Bridges, so great.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Movie
to
talk.
Another story here. Apple did release visionOS Fit 27 Beta 5. And boy, they did some major releasing of some updates. Marty, you did great for reviewing this here, but what were you most excited about with what the Apple just announced this week in the developer? Because it's like this is like a huge, long laundry list on their developers notes site here.
Yeah, it's a long list, and then you have to kind of interpret it or get it interpreted into normal speak for the rest of us. But there is a considerable amount of work and corrections done with SAI. So that seems to be the majority of and I can't tell, which, but there are so many things fixed with SAI on this device. It kind of tells you that they are really dedicated to this platform working. And some simple things in terms of being able to not have to announce, hey, SAI, you can just kind of look at the orb or look at a particular spot and the orb will open up and you can then start whatever you want to say to the magic orb. Mecca hi, Mecca heiny who, whatever you want to say to the orb. But there is tons of and we sat in essentially an extra week trying to wait for another beta to come out, and the payoff was there with all the stuff that had been done, fixed, and acknowledged that, hey, there's still some things that we have to do that we know about. So yeah.
Mac.
How about the
Mac?
Eric,
Mac Virtual Display has gotten a little more stable. So if you're working with a virtual display and you take your headset off to go do something, come back, put the headset back on, the display is still there, so it's much more like a display on your desk. Because it was really annoying. You used to have to just reconnect all the time, and the reconnect wasn't really smooth. That's getting much improved.
Yep. All right. Let's go back here, and let's go on to the next story we have here in the Vision Pro. There was a report that for beta users that the hand control in Digital Crown had issues. This was on some Reddit posts here, asking are you anyone else no longer able to use your right hand to bring up the home screen in the control center? As hitting the Digital Crown brings up the home screen, but my left hand works. Before I asked if I try hand-eyes set up again, which the hand one does not ask for both sides of the hands any longer as well, and a restore. Ooh, I don't want to do a restore. Marty, did you see anything like this? I have not noticed it. It was actually working for me.
Yeah, I had problems with hand gestures before this beta, and that's why the 3-week 3-week felt like a month for me, or 2 months for me, waiting to see if this beta would fix that, and it actually fixed that for me in terms of being able to pull up Control Center as we always have or have in this version, using the hand gesture. This new crown thing I haven't seen, and I haven't run across it, but there has been some concerns about the hand gesture stuff disappearing in beta 4 and now I think returning in beta 5.
Yeah. Eric, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I hadn't seen anything, although it seemed if people had redone the hand-eye setup in the earlier beta that they had more problems. Whereas if you already had it set up and didn't redo it, that there's a good chance you could survive the betas up to the current one. I haven't wanted to retry the hand-eye setup just to see, is it still working if you do that? I'm just letting it go because it works.
Well, yeah, because you cringe when it comes to beta sometimes.
Yeah, yes, I do.
Vision Pro, I don't worry about, because you use it a lot. I need to use it more, but I use a fair amount. All right, let's hit off to the other beta this week. iOS 27 developer beta 5 is out, and there was a fair amount both iPad and iOS 27. I guess there were some fixes with AirPlay. The AirPods Max 2 had some resolved issues where you couldn't update the firmware in the beta. Airport utility depreciations will no longer be available for new downloads from the App Store. You previously downloaded the app, you can still re-download it. That's when the airport utility. Okay, well, who cares? That's long gone. And some numerous resolved issues and known issues. So been running it on my 17E. It's been working great. Haven't run into too many problems. Anybody else on beta the iPhone been running into issues?
I ran into an issue with I do voice to chat when I'm at work, and I am noticing in this new beta that it just stops when the microphone is on and spins and never gets it. And that's something that happened just since I upgraded.
Okay.
I'm on the beta and haven't had any issues so far.
That's good. And like we've said many weeks, that's very unusual for you to be on beta.
On my phone, yeah, because I only have the one phone.
Yes. Yeah. So anybody else? I mean, Jeff, we've been using it on your. Are you still doing the beta on your old iPad?
Yeah, and I haven't. I've been very busy since I got back from Mac Stock. No, well, actually, okay, it's true. I had been busy since I got back from Mac Stock, but now since Black Hat, and so I installed the beta, and everything is working fine for me, and I'm like, okay, that's good enough for now. But I do want to go in and, play around with some of the settings that have been updated in beta 5 and just see what happens. But my battery life, I've noticed, is not as good now as it was with developer beta 1.
You're right.
Interesting.
Well, it's also doing a lot more in the latest beta than it was in 1. A lot of the AI stuff has been kicked in.
Yeah, is there background indexing going on, which is when people report drain on new betas, it's because it's re-indexing stuff, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's very possible. I haven't bothered to look. I just noticed that my battery life isn't as good as it was.
Someone said, wait, we released a beta with a better battery. Quick, fix it.
Yeah.
Turn that off.
Turn that off.
Yeah. So, then we have watchOS beta 27 beta 5, and we have tvOS 27 beta 5. Nothing exciting to really report about that. And then we talked about last week with Mac, we'll get to Mac in a minute here. Apple did release a release candidate of 26.6.1 because last week a 26.6.1 came out for Mac that had some pretty serious vulnerabilities. And I think we're in the same boat with iPhone and iPad. This is still a release candidate, so it is not out to the public just yet. But I would when it's a release candidate, I would tend to expect, especially we're very close to the big announcements coming up in a few weeks here, that I would think Apple will get this out well before that happens when 27 gets released. So be aware of that. And also a couple things that was released here. SAI also had additional voices and voice customizations. Pace and expressivity and now can be adjusted for more of the available voice options instead of just the 2 American voices. Well, that's nice. There are 7 American voice options and 4 British voices to choose from, all of which can be customized with different pace and expressivity settings. Pace settings talk speed, while expressivity changes emphasis. So yeah, they're still that's what it's beta for, testing to see how SAI is going to work. And I've been trying it on the 17E, and it's pretty solid. And a lot of people are reporting it, so I'm looking forward to having it in everybody's hands to see what everybody thinks.
Except the EU.
Well, yeah, the EU is not going to get it right. Yeah.
Sorry,
for
guys.
sure. So yeah,
Play silly games, get silly prizes.
Yeah.
Oh, Jill,
very
you're
good.
the best.
Very good. You are. Okay, and then going to in touch with Mac this week. macOS Big Bridge, also known as Golden Gate, is got beta 5, and there wasn't a ton of things. I've been running it on 2 of my 3 MacBooks, my MacBook Neo and my MacBook Air. MacBook Pro is my daily driver, so I'm not doing it. But really, SAI has been transformed into SAI. S lady. All right, let's face it. Let's deal with it. That it's transformed into SAI, and it's a chatbot style assistant that combines general world knowledge, your personal data, and on-screen awareness to answer questions about anything and find information for you. There's also an AI photo editing tools in the Photos app, an AI tab organization in Safari, and an option to use AI to automatically update weak passwords in the Passwords app. That's kind of nice. And then the Image Playground app, which everybody loves, of course. Yeah. That generates photorealistic images. So lots of stuff, little stuff, a few items that were released. Anybody running that and any experience with the Golden Gate besides me?
Well, I'm running the beta on my M1 MacBook Pro, but I don't have the latest one on there yet.
Okay. But so far, it's been a good experience?
Yeah, it's been fine. I had it when I went to MacStock.
Great.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have been probably using SAI more now on macOS than I am on my phone, because I'm in front of a computer and my phone I take with me and I'm busy driving or doing something else. And I guess I could use it then too, but I have had a hell of a week trying to find files that I thought the university had stored on their LMS. They have changed their LMS, so my files are gone, so I have to reconstruct. And I just asked SAI on my desktop to look for this stuff, and it pulled it all together. And I was like, thank you, Siri. I still have to reconstruct all this stuff, but I was really surprised how good it was on this on the new Mac OS. So,
yep. Anybody else?
I want to upgrade my production machine so badly.
Don't do it.
I want to.
Don't do it.
I want to.
So, next couple of topics here for Mac I thought were interesting. First one is, which of the Apple's built-in Mac apps do you immediately replace? don't know if I immediately replace any of them, honestly, but I found this to be interesting. 7 great apps that the author just uses is from Cult of Mac here, that they use instead of Apple's apps. CleanShot X for screenshots. Yeah, I would say that the built-in tool for Mac is okay. If I did a presentation at MacStock about 2 years ago about this, and I still love Snagit. Sorry, I'm just biased, but I think it's the best. But CleanShot X is a good contender as another one that's out there that you can use for screenshots. In a pinch, I use the Apple's screenshots, but you forget what the buttons are. You can set them and stuff, but I'm so used to Command Control C. That's it. Do it. It works. And then I don't know about this calendar. Anybody use this calendar before? Hora calendar? HORA?
I've never even heard of it.
Me either.
No, just no.
Part of the problem with using some of these applications is they may work better and they may have better tools, but they don't necessarily talk to one another and they're not built in. So, if you have various appointments in your calendar, well, then you're driving down the road, you'll get a notification along with a link to go right to Apple Maps to where it is that you want to go and things along those lines. It's not that it's necessarily better than these third-party tools. It's just more convenient.
Yeah. No, that's the reason why I picked this. No, but go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, if you look through the apps that you must replace with these in this article, it's the lines that you're reading between are pretty freaking big. Okay, and what they should have done is titled this instead. Here are great apps to use on your Mac if you have locked yourself into the Google ecosystem. Because there's a pattern here. A lot of these apps are for people that rely on Google tools.
Or Android users, yeah.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, Hora, it's
never heard of it.
It's fine, but I think there's actually better choices that have better Apple integration. Like if I want really good Google integration, and I have that for the Google calendars that I have to follow, Fantastical does a great job, and it uses Apple's database, so everything that you can do with automation through the calendar app, you can still do.
Right.
And then Fantastical has really good automation tools built into it as well. Or use BusyCal, which, by the way, I'm pretty sure is available through SetApp. So you've already got that subscription.
Yeah.
Now you have BusyCal right there.
Right.
Hora's fine, but I think you have better options.
Kind of to contradict this article, what I have been doing recently is rediscovering Mac native apps because, for example, I've been playing with ENEYNA, which is the MacPaw version of an AI. And so it's like, well, let's see what it can do. And so I started connecting with things. It can't connect with that Fantastical, but it can connect with Apple Calendar. And I use Fantastical more than Apple Calendar, but I went and I looked at it and it's like, well, everything's an Apple Calendar that I need. So I'm starting to kind of, and it's pulling the stuff from work. So my stuff from my Outlook calendar is coming through too onto Apple Calendar now. I do love BusyCal. I mean, that was the first one that I used to integrate all of them. But I'm going back to some of the basics with Apple because SAI will allow me to grab that stuff a lot easier. And it's helped me solve some problems that I've had, particularly between the work and hobby Apple interface stuff that I do. So I can get it all in one package.
Yeah. Well, I said some of this stuff, I question.
I was going to say, I'm doing what Marty's doing too. Sorry. Go go ahead.
No, go.
That I'm trying to get back. So I canceled Fantastical. I canceled Todoist, and I am working my way back to the Apple apps for that same reason Marty was talking about, and they have improved much. Same thing with journaling. So I am trying not to use all these other apps, and I do use Notion, but not for a competitor to Apple stuff. So,
right.
Also, who in good conscience can say, "Hey, Google Chrome is a great thing to put on your computer"?
Wait to see the next one.
no,
Yeah, I know. I've got to break that. I got to break that habit.
I don't even have it installed on my work computer. I don't even use Chrome anymore. I can't stand it.
No, Chrome is
Everybody in my company is using a lot of them. Most people are using Chrome, and I just can't stand it. I use Edge and I use Safari. I have to use Edge only because Microsoft, because we're in the Microsoft world.
And it also gives you a Chromium browser that you can use.
That too. Right. I was going to mention with calendars, I've been using Apple Calendar forever, but, my wife uses Google Calendars, and I have a heck of a time her getting that calendar to sync in Apple Calendars. It just does not work. And half time, did you see what I'm doing today? It's on your calendar. Am I on your calendar? No, I don't. And, I've checked all the settings you could ever think of. And I don't know. I just don't think Apple Calendars works really well with the Google Calendar, unless I'm crazy. And
nope.
I've had that sync come up broken before, and I've had to go in and re-add it.
I don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to go through the rest of these here. You mentioned, Jill, Notion instead of Apple Notes. Nah, I wouldn't even consider that. At least me. You like Notion, right?
Notion's amazing, but I don't consider it to be an Apple Notes replacement. So it does so much more for me than that.
Yeah. And then there you go. Google Chrome is better than Safari for Android users. Okay, we're not even talking about Android users. These are Mac. I'm not even going to go down that road. And then 1Password is the most full-featured than Apple passwords.
Yep.
That's a debate. I mean, I've been in one, and I think many of us here have been 1Password customers for a long, long, long time.
Yeah, I finally dropped them.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been using Apple Passwords?
Yeah, Passwords has been fine for what I need it for. And again, it's built in and it's synced across all my devices.
Yep. Jeff, you had something?
I totally get why so many people have moved away from 1Password back or into Apple's password app. I mean, it's a very capable tool, and I think for a lot of people, it is exactly what they need, and it is plenty. And and if that's the case, then why pay for a 1Password subscription if everything you need is already available in a tool that Apple gives you, and it has full integration across all your devices? For some of us, okay, well, we're doing enough with all of our secure data that 1Password still makes sense, but that doesn't mean that it's at this point better than Apple's passwords. It's how you're using the tool that makes one the appropriate one for you and the other one not.
Yeah, Jeff, I sort of use 1Password as a kind of legacy password thing for me. Plus, I know I can put in other sorts of digital information that is not password. It's maybe credit card information, things like that, and lock it across that way. So that's the extra added stuff that I can't get out of Apple Password. If they had a secure kind of system for me to do that, Wallet doesn't quite do it yet. I mean, well, Wallet's there for live transactions, but not necessarily for keeping other types of secure information on it. So yeah, that's why I stay with 1Password. However, I rarely open it because I'm constantly using passwords through Apple Password.
Interesting. Yeah, and I'm using 1Password much in the same way you are, where it's not just keeping track of passwords; it's a critical, secure data repository.
Right.
And I use it that way all the time. Unlike Marty, though, I'm using 1Password multiple times a day.
Yes, I use it for everything, and I store API keys up there and all sorts of secure things that I wouldn't want anywhere else.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
And it's never been hacked.
This was a good comment. There's a good comment in the chat here at youtube.com/intouchwithios. You can join us every week to hang out and chat with us. Witherbucket, he's saying that I'm good with Apple passwords. It just doesn't work on my PC, but I can at least bring it up on my iPhone to type in it manually, at least. Not the worst inconvenience.
And it does work on the PC. Yeah. I think that there was a key, an app, and that worked.
Yeah, well, also depends if it's his personal PC or it's his work one, but work might restrict it.
Yeah, and isn't it the iCloud app, the Windows iCloud app?
Yeah,
which most companies don't allow.
Yeah. So personal stuff, or your personal accounts, sure, but business stuff, they're going to get you on a Teams call and tell you why you have to use Microsoft password management.
Oh, ours is even worse. I don't even want to talk about
it. Yeah. Show me on the little bobblehead where the password manager hurt you, Jill.
or I can even do it on the little Finder guy for you too.
If little Finder guy had been right in front of me, that's what I would have used. But bobblehead guy, that's who was here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't take my name in vain.
Witherbucket said it was his personal PC. He didn't know about the app. He's going to look into that.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
And then Ron Feld, welcome. It's his first time visiting us, I believe. He says he uses 1Password. Awesome. All right. So one last story about Mac this week. I wanted to talk a little bit about how much backup storage do you really need for your Mac? Well, I'm not going to go through the whole article here, but AI has been proving its biggest threat to personal computing this century because unintended effects. It also includes it includes all the different things that you can use when it comes to backup. But iCloud, you don't get tons of space. You do 2 terabytes or 4 terabytes. All depends on what you're backing up. So most people these days are using an external drive, which is generally the equivalent of what the size SSD you have in your Mac. Like I have a 1 terabyte drive in my MacBook Pro. I think 1 terabyte should be enough, but it doesn't hurt to double it. Have a 2 terabyte drive when it comes to that. You could have me, like I'm crazy with 14 and 16 terabyte 3.5-inch drives that I can be backing up over, whether it's over my Plex server on my Synology or any of these other drives that I have. You could do that too. Then you don't have to worry about space as much. But what's everybody's practice how they do backups? I mean, I use Carbon Copy Cloner a lot of times. I know some people are using SuperDuper. What is everybody's method of choice to doing their backups? Let's start with you, Jeff.
Of course, you'd start with me. All right, hold on for the ride.
I knew you'd be a lot.
So I probably need professional help.
Yes,
me too.
On many levels.
I do too. You should see how many drives I have under me right now.
But okay, so here's how my backup system works. It starts with Time Machine, which is double the capacity of my built-in drive, so that I can go back farther in time for files, and so that's just doing its regular throughout the day thing. Then every night, SuperDuper launches and it does a nightly backup to my Synology NAS. Now, throughout the day, all day, Backblaze is continually updating my offsite, because if you don't have offsite to go along with your onsite, you don't have backup.
Right.
And then once a week, Carbon Copy Cloner turns on, and it does a backup to a separate drive.
Mm-hmm.
What am I missing? I think I'm missing one thing. But the point is, I have multiple backups happening throughout the week. And I even have a backup for my backup app because I'm running 2 different backup utilities. So if one fails, the other one is bound to get something as well.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of hard drives scattered around here, backing up a lot of data.
You've seen how many hard drives I have.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also, instead of using my local storage exclusively for client and project files, that all lives on a cloud storage platform. But since and most of that's actually Dropbox, which means that it's storing all of the Dropbox data as well. Since that is being stored locally, that means that my Dropbox backup goes to a Synology, a separate external hard drive, and to Backblaze.
There you go.
I do not like to lose data.
And well, you should. Anybody as elaborate as Jeff?
I'm close, I think.
That makes me happy.
So I have 2 Synology drives, one that stores my photos and one that stores all my files. And then I use Carbon Copy Cloner with my old M1 Mac Mini that will take everything off Synology and throw it onto another drive. That drive goes up to Backblaze. Then this computer is backed up with Backblaze, and I also have a Carbon Copy Cloner that I have 2 external drives, one for apps because this Mac Mini doesn't have any storage on it. So that one doesn't really get backed up because I could just reinstall those apps and I'm not worried about it. And then all my content stuff that I create then gets copied through Carbon Copy Cloner, moved to the Synology drive. Then eventually the Synology drive moves it over to the other drive, and then it all goes to Backblaze.
I love your system.
That's really good.
And so when there's tornadoes, I want to say one last thing. You're right, everything's up in the cloud. But whenever there's a tornado, the drives I have are little SanDisk Extreme. I just pop them off, I throw them in my pocket, and I go down the basement, and so I have all my data with me too.
Oh, yeah, Jill, that's a really good point.
That is.
If you're in a position where in an emergency situation you need to abandon ship, having the ability to just grab drives and run out the door with them.
Yep.
That's super important. And I can do that. Now, granted, the way I would do it, it would just be a stack of drives. Who cares? I can go buy new cables later on.
Yep.
Anybody else?
I used to have, what was that? What was that? It was sort of Synology's competitor.
Drobo.
Drobo.
I had a Drobo for a long time. And now I have Drobo drives that, I don't know, they just sit there and cry. But basically everything I need is, well, I try to store as much as I can in the cloud. So Backblaze, iCloud, Google Drive. So I have that. I don't try to keep any media on a working device if I can afford to not do it. So I have a Synology, so I can take folders and dump them on that if I need to. So I have an external drive device. I also have a couple of drives that I do with SuperDuper and Carbon Copy Cloner. But I try to keep most of my stuff off my, once I'm done working on it and I'm not going to return to it, it goes to an external drive that has some RAD system or some backup, and it also goes to a cloud service. So I know I can always return to that if I need it. And if, I'm in a high earthquake area. So if a earthquake and tsunami come together at the same time, I just grab my machine and go in the basement.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on and talk a little bit about a new blog post this is like an AI segment here. Jeff, you just happen to have some fresh blog post on jeffgamet.com about Anthropic's Claude watermark is akin to an AI poison pill. What made you write this all? Write all this about this? I saw this and I thought, this is why.
All right. So, what OpenAI is doing, and by the way, thanks for letting people know about the post. You rock.
Mhm.
So what Anthropic is doing, they're saying this is so that they are in compliance with the EU AI Act, which requires transparency on content that has been generated using AI tools. And so what Anthropic's solution to this is to create a watermarking system that goes into all the content that's being created by Claude models or is being touched by Claude models in other ways. So like if you write something totally yourself, but then tell Claude or a Claude model, hey, proofread this for me, well, then that gets watermarked as if it had been created whole cloth by Claude or a Claude model. And so the problem here is that that currently we have some vagaries about what's going on with the way the watermarking works. And it looks like, at least today, keep in mind this is 2 days old, this information, so it's still fresh. There's a lot we don't know. It looks like embedded, like invisible characters and things like that are not being used, but we don't know for certain, but that's probably the case. So instead, what's likely happening is that Anthropic is taking words and creating their own algorithm for how words are selected. And then that becomes like a digital thumbprint of the document. And on one hand, that's like, oh, that's kind of interesting, because if that's the case, then it won't cause problems for like screen readers for people that have vision issues. But on the other hand, that also means that that Anthropic is now guaranteeing that what Claude generates for you as content is not going to be the content that you were hoping for, but instead it's content that has been massaged in such a way so that it creates this watermark. And over time, I can see where that would cause a problem, at least in some situations where like you wanted specific wording that doesn't fit the algorithm, so it's going to be a little bit different. Might be okay, but what if you're in a situation where it's like a legal document and that really matters? And now the wording is slightly off, so it can appear as if it's or so it appears to have the watermark. Now the other problem is like in my blog post, will this blog post get tagged as watermarked for AI generated? I write all my content without using AI, and I'm very clear about that. And if I do something on my blog at some point where I'm generating some content with AI, I will be very transparent about that. I don't see it happening, but there you go. I did, however, copy a paragraph out of Anthropic's document about what they're doing from their webpage. Okay, was that document created using Claude tools? If so, has it been watermarked? Now, since I copied that content, and they've been very clear, the watermarking follows when you copy and paste and will even survive multiple edit rounds. So, does that mean I'm now flagged as writing an article generated through an AI model? And the answer is probably, but maybe not. And they also took this, what I called a ham-fisted approach, where they're tagging everything that Claude touches. And the reality is what the EU is requiring is a much narrower set of content. So it has to be content that is of public interest. So, like, don't write a news article with AI and not disclose it. And then also, if you do have AI write that article in this example, and then you have your human editors go through the document, make sure that there aren't any errors, make any other changes that they might want to make, and then publish that piece, that doesn't have to be disclosed because now a human has vetted the piece. So what we're going to end up with is a situation that I think will generate a lot of false positives for AI created content. And in some cases, that's going to bite people. So let's say that that I decide I'm going to Kent and I'm taking classes from Marty, and I write my own thesis, but I let Claude proofread it for me, and then it gets processed to check for AI watermarks, and it pops up saying, "Yep, it has watermarks." And Anthropic is also saying, "Hey, just because the watermark is there doesn't mean it was AI generated." But there's no way to tell. So that nuance, which is very important, is going to be lost on a lot of people. And just simply the fact that a watermark is found, you will be guilty by association. And what if in that thesis, I went and copied from other documents online and then cited those documents, and those documents at some point have been touched by Claude, and now they have watermarks. I had no idea. I'm expecting there'll be a lot of problems with this. Oh, and by the way, there are already websites popping up claiming to be able to strip the watermarking out.
So the message here is, kids, write your term papers before your university buys the new product from Anthropic that will let the university know that you've written something with the assistance at some point with an Anthropic product.
Yep. There you go.
That product is known and people know it, and they say it's really bad. It starts with a V. It's like Vagrant. I can't remember the name of it. But
Vagrant. I love that.
But I'll give you an example of this. So I have a new Substack. I write my own stories, and then I run it through AI to make sure I didn't sound crazy and that I grammar checked it right. And it didn't like my last paragraph very well. It said, well, you kind of repeated too much at the end. Here, I rewrote your last paragraph by sort of smushing it together. And I went, okay, great. So I copied it and pasted it, put it in the Substack. And then I ran that AI, because now AI says we have an AI determiner.
Mm-hmm.
And it said it was 100% AI. And I'm like, I wrote all of this except for that one last little paragraph, and it determined the whole article was AI. And I'm like, is that what I just got caught in? Is something like that? I have no idea, because I don't write like AI.
So you sell the poison and you sell the antidote in this case.
Yeah, but the antidote isn't exactly effective yet.
Yeah.
It would be like a birth control pill that might work.
Oh, man, that is a joke waiting for me to tell. That's really inappropriate.
I'm looking forward to After Dark.
After Dark.
You should charge for that, Dave.
Yeah, I noticed Witherbucket in the live chat. Hey, Witherbucket said that Anthropic could have designed this so that it was more granular about what it. I'm paraphrasing what it tagged and what the watermarking means for specific types of content. Like if it helped edit, if it fixed typos, if it was written out of whole cloth,
right?
Then yes, Anthropic absolutely could have done that. They chose not to. Instead, they've created a system you cannot opt out of that will tag anything, and it doesn't matter what country you're in. This is worldwide.
Yep.
He also said that I've heard those AI scanners that do it manually, and it's all total crap. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned it off on Substack because I'm like, I wrote this. It's a deeply personal story. I wrote this, except for the last paragraph, and I'm mad now.
Yeah, and Jill, what you did, that does not require the disclosure, the AI disclosure in the EU.
Right. And I even disclose it. You could say on there, my AI use, and I say, I write my own articles. They're all very personal. I use AI to help me make sure that the final edits are good. That I didn't make a grammar. So I tell people right up front.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yep. Anybody want to add anything to this before we move on?
If you're not a native English speaker and you use tools to translate, you very unfairly are listed as having everything you write being AI generated.
Yep. Good point. That's a problem.
All right. By the way, unfortunately, we lost Guy Serle. His power went out at his home, so he's sitting in the dark right now. But hopefully, he'll make it back. If not, we miss you already, Guy. So, all right, let's get into. There's one new story I wanted to cover real quick here. Apple added nearly 45 hearing devices to its Made for iPhone compatibility list. Apple updated its list of Made for iPhone M5 hearing devices today with 43 models across 22 brands. Here's what's new. It says now their hearing aids list crosses 600 supported devices. That's crazy.
That's amazing.
It's amazing too. Yes. In addition to smart home products, headsets, game controllers, fitness equipment, among others, Apple's M5 program is including hearing aids. This allows users to pair a compatible hearing device to their iPhone, iPad, Mac, or Vision Pro for audio streaming. It can also either unidirectional or bidirectional, depending on devices involved. Bidirectional streaming, Apple explains, allows users to talk hands-free. So their official list now has been brought up to 623 across 104 brands. And they have a whole list of all the different ones that are out there. This is great. I mean, this just shows you how supportive Apple is with accessibility. I mean, this is just. I mean, another reason of many reasons I love Apple's was because of something like this. What's everybody else think?
A lot of chatter about it on Old Mac Gang. The idea that all these guys use hearing aids except me, and I probably should use hearing aids. And how much they're loving the fact that Apple has kind of entered this market in a way to support either the hearing aids that they have or even just using iPods or AirPods as devices for hearing supplement.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
I have a friend's father who uses one of them, who has done this. And so he can hear okay on his iPhone, just so that made it hugely. He wasn't capable of creating his own doctor's appointments, listening to tech support. There was all sorts of things he couldn't do, and now he can because he was this kind of thing.
It's awesome. Okay. Hey, Marty, how about if I give you a testimonial on just, for now, using your AirPods Pro as your assistive hearing device?
I know.
Since I did that, it is crazy how many situations I have been in where I realized I had been compensating without realizing it. And at Black Hat, when I hit that expo floor, there's so much ambient noise that it was incredibly difficult for me to pick out conversations. And it was also causing a lot of just like I don't strain and fatigue because I was having to work so hard to listen. So I popped in the AirPods, and it was like all of that background noise that was wearing me down was gone. And then every conversation, I was just there in the conversation. It was fantastic.
Yeah, when we do family gatherings, it's always at restaurants. And in restaurants, you not only have your family talking, but you have other families talking. It's all bouncing off the walls. And I go through a process where it's like, let me try and listen. I can get to the people next to me, but I can't get to the people from my family who are 2 people away to hear what they're saying. And it's sort of like, okay, I'll just check out. And, that's not the way to manage that. So
Yeah. Yeah. On going to the restaurants and stuff, while I was at Black Cat, just the timing worked out. Ken Ray was in town because he was there for Star Trek Las Vegas.
Star Trek.
So we got together one evening, and for those of you that don't know, Ken Ray, macOS Ken,
macOS Ken.
go check out his show.
The man.
He's an amazing guy.
The legend.
Yes. So we're in this this bar, and there's a bunch of us there, and I couldn't hear the people across the table from me, and at first I'm like, sorry, say that again. I can't hear you. And they said it again. And I'm like, hold on, easy fix. I popped in the AirPods and it was like we were all in our own private room.
Love it.
It was fantastic. It is dark arts wizardry, and I'm here for it.
So glad you got the AirPods.
It's me too. I'm still pissed off at Apple for how they screwed me over on the original AirPods Pro.
It's made up for it.
It's I will continue to hold that grudge, and I realize that that's a me problem, but I'm really happy for what I've been able to do without needing to go buy like full on hearing aids.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Anybody else?
I'm headed in this direction. I know, I can tell already. I'm not there yet, but I'm going to use my AirPods like this too. So I'm excited it worked for you.
Yeah, and it's great. Just when I need it, pop them in. The rest of the time, no big deal.
Yeah. All right, let's go to things we found. I'm going to start off with myself here. What I found this week, surprise, this was an absolutely a steal of a deal. I had the Synology 2-bay disk station, the DS22 20220J. That's an older model. This one is a little faster, but this price is insane, $189.99. And I think this is just an absolute steal of a deal. So I've been in a hard drive obsession lately, if I guess way to say it. So because I'm really finding out really badly how ridiculously expensive hard drives are right now. I was scouring eBay just to look for there's enterprise level drives that they're certified, that at least I can find fairly good deals on them. But call me crazy. So this one I haven't, my first one has got my Plex server on it. So I've got 2 8 terabyte drives in there. This one will be a secondary one, be like 4 terabytes. I might dabble with the second Plex server just to play. But Synology makes great stuff, and you really can't beat this price. It's like 10% off. Its list price is around $210. So go grab it. I think it's a great deal, and this is something you'd have fun with. And Marty, you'll even have fun with it because I know you've been trying to set up a Synology server at some point, right?
I have a 4-bay Synology that I took the 2 full drives out and put it in the 4-bay, and then added a third drive. So I have a 2-bay that's empty. What's holding me back is the cost of drives.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's like, because you get a new device. It's fun. You get a drive, you slam it in there, and it's not fun. It's just functional. And so, there's some Apple purchases coming up. So I've got this 2-bay Synology. I offered it to my son and didn't hear anything back. So I've got to eventually kind of invest in getting some drives in and getting them going. So
I found these 16 terabyte drives. They're certified refurbished. They're enterprise drives. They're Seagate, and they were 16 terabytes, but still they were $370 for 16 terabytes.
I bought the 4-bay, and then I started finding out that Synology is also kind of pegged certain drives, particularly ones that they either make or associated with, to fill the bins. And I'm like, now do I take the risk of getting a non-Synology drive, which is about 3/4 of the cost of what the Synology drive is?
No,
and
don't bother.
And I did that. I found that out after I put the new third drive in, and it runs fine. So
now both both my drives are non-Synology drives.
All my drives are not.
I've had
don't worry about the Synology.
This Plex server has been running for years and years, and it's been working, knock on wood, great. So
Yeah.
Jeff should know. He's been watching a few movies.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So who is next? I think it is Jill.
Oh.
What do you got?
Well, my thing is not very exciting like last week when I bought the Cricket. So I have really tiny little wrists, and I have an Ultra watch, and I have been trying really hard to find any watch band that works for tiny wrists. But this would also work for larger wrists too. It is a nice watch band. It gives you an extra segment. So you can either put the long one in or the short one in. And the short one fits my tiny little wrist. And what's nice about it is that it is 2 forms of connection. So you kind of see, let me do it this way. So you can kind of see that first it's magnet, which is a very strong magnet, and then you Velcro on top of it. And so it holds.
Nice.
And it is so soft. It doesn't sweat under there. And it says for men. And it works really great for me. It has kind of manly colors, if I can say such a thing. But I got the green one and the purple one. Yeah, I wish they had more colors. I wish they had a prettier blue, but they don't. And I love this watch band. It's my now favorite.
Well, that's great. Let's see who else we got here. Jeff, you found some interesting open source item here.
Yeah, it's a website, and it's called DFlock. So it's deflock.org. And the purpose of this website is to just keep a public record of where all the ALPR systems are. I don't know if it's international, but at least throughout the United States. ALPR means automated license plate readers, so like flock cameras. But it's more than just flock. And regardless of your stance on whether or not flock cameras are a reasonable and appropriate thing for government agencies, law enforcement agencies to be using, it's still nice to know where all of these cameras are, and to know what sort of coverage, like the town you live in. Well, where are the cameras around where you live? And it shows the ones that are government controlled and the ones that like shopping malls are using.
Yeah, I'm showing it on screen, everybody on the video on YouTube, and it is showing the map here. Boy, it's pretty concentrated around the United States here.
Oh yeah.
Jeff, did you see John Oliver's thing on flock cameras?
Yes.
No, but I think I need to see that.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find it in YouTube. Brilliant stuff.
And Buck Off.
Yeah, Buck Off is the other one. Or Bucky's.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that Bucky's that's near me. Dave, you've been there.
I went there. Yeah,
I think for like 3 weeks it was the largest in the world, and then they built a big one in
they're
Texas.
suing everybody who comes close, doesn't even come close to a trademark. If you have an animal trademark on your store, they've been doing lawsuits. So
alligators, kangaroos,
and so
because it has a color and you're using anything near its copyright, it's suing. So yeah. John Oliver was having a field day with that.
Yeah,
I have no doubt.
It says Buck Off.
He's making merch. That's
merch for it. Buck-off.com. You can go check that out.
Buck-off.com.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, it says launching soon. Oh no.
Well, they must have changed it.
No, it's active for merch.
It was. Well, unless something changed. Anyway, let's go on to Eric. You have a flashlight that you like.
Because who doesn't like a flashlight? I keep ending up in rooms that are dark. Like, this one, where there's like big, huge dark areas, and I can just hit the flashlight. It bounces light off of the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Massively huge light, but I can attach a battery pack to it. It's got a USB-C connector on one side for power going in, and there's a spot on the other side for power going out. If it's fully charged, you can charge a phone off of the internal battery. Extremely bright.
That's cool.
It is great until Lassie digs you out, I guess. It'll work.
Well, otherwise I'm talking like this.
Oh, okay.
And I will tell everybody about Guy's choice. He posted Batman: The Cape Crusader. It's on Prime, Amazon Prime.
That's a really good pick. Season 2 is out now, and it's really well done.
Is it on the? I don't see it here. I only see season 1. Oh wait, bring the drop down. There it is, season 2. You're right. There, it just came out. So check it out. Good pick, Guy. We miss you. I'm gonna make sure we tell everybody what you picked. That link will be in the show notes. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. But until we do that,
my pick.
Oh my God! Why did I forget you, Marty? I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Let's go.
I figure you're doing Guy. Yeah, my pick is Wallper. WALLPER.app, and it is a animated wallpaper, basically background, and it has lots of cool stuff in it. You get a 7-day free trial and then $14.99 for lifetime license. I just during the show put the animated ocean sea in my background, and I probably should take Dramamine because that's a little too much motion for me. But there's a bunch of very cool things in Wallper with various kinds of live, and you can scale it. When I set it up, I have 3 monitors, and it offers which one do you want on what monitor? Do you want it on all monitors? Do you want to put another one on and separate them out? So some very cool things with this, and I'd encourage people to take a look at it. Wallper, WALLPER.app, if you're looking to spice up your backgrounds a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Good pick. I didn't mean to miss you there.
Yeah.
And I correct myself. The website for that book off is buc-off.com. And there you are. Shop merch. Featuring Mr. Nutter Butter.
Yeah, he's donating the proceeds from that to Feed America. Yeah. So he's like
Hunger Free America.
Yeah, he was telling Buc-ee's, go ahead and take us on. Of course, you'll be taking food out of people's mouths by doing that.
Yeah. Well, looks like they're going to benefit because there's the prices are pretty little high, but hey, it's fun.
Look at that. You can get Buck-off underpants.
Right.
Yeah. See? That's what you should have get Chuck to get. He's got to be selling underpants for Mac Voices.
Last show they said they
you too.
Yeah, they
anybody.
Last show he said they did an update, and I saw it on Reddit again today, that he had gotten $500,000 from the proceeds that went to feeding them to his nonprofit for feeding America, or to a nonprofit for feeding America. So.
Everyone's favorite cartoon animal who doesn't sue small businesses. Mr. Nutter Butter.
Butter.
Mr. Nutter Butter. Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and wrap up. But before we do that, where can people find everybody? Let's start with Jeff Gamet. Where can people find you, Jeff?
Okay. Well, the obvious, considering we talked about one of my blog posts, is my blog, jeffgamet.com, also freshbrewtales.com. Then Jay Gamet on the various social media platforms, and then here's a bunch of shows for you. Chuck Joyner's Mac Voices live on Tuesdays, here on Dave's In Touch with iOS on Thursdays. Brent Chaffin and I do The Context Machine. Patrice Brendamore and I do Retro Rewatch. A bunch of us do Tech Hangout, and sometimes Guy and I do Warp Speed Weirdos. He came up with the name, Weirdos, just to be clear. And
no surprise.
And Marty, I keep screwing up the name of the show that we're doing with Chuck.
It is. I've got to go to it's Foreshadowing Tech.
Thank you, Foreshadowing Tech.
Sticker is on my MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. Eric Bolden, thanks for being here at your undisclosed location. We appreciate it. Where can people find you?
I can be found on Mastodon at eabolden at mas.to. Otherwise, Sunday nights on the Neo Notebook, Mondays on Vision Profiles, Tuesdays on Mac Voices Live, and of course, rounding out the week, Thursdays on In Touch with iOS.
All right. And Guy Serle, that's what he said. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here because of power outage. You can find him on the G-Men show with Gazmaz, which I hear he's coming back next week, which is great.
That's awesome.
You can email them at the G-Men show at iCloud.com. His handles at MacPirate and at Frickshart on many of the socials, is on YouTube and Google. And he has a voice number, 703-828-4677. If I didn't say that, he would probably say, why did you say that? So, all right. And now, Marty Jencius, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
You'll find me now in a much better mood that I've been part of this show. Yeah. So thank you for that. At Jencius, Jencius, on the socials. Whole bunch of podcasts I'm in and I'm on, and I do Vision Profiles on Monday night, the Neo Notebook on Sunday nights, Chuck's show on Tuesdays, this show on Thursdays, Tech Hangout on Friday mornings, but other fun things like the Fade to Chat, the movie show that I'm doing. We're into our 40th episode, and we have I started a one that kind of takes a psychology look at it. So last week we did Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte, and my piece on one scene, which is a separate 10-minute podcast, was about gaslighting and how that occurred in that movie and where that happened. So it's kind of fun if you want to get to the psychology of the films that we covered. But check it out at thepodtalk.net.
Thank you, Marty. And last but certainly not least, Jill McKinley. She's here with her new Macstock 10 t-shirt. Great to see you. And thanks for being here. Where can people find you?
You can find everything I do at jillfromthenorthwoods.com. It has all the podcasts and all the YouTube channels I do. And then my new Substack channel is also there as well. I'm brand new to Substack, but I'm really enjoying it. I have to say, out of all the social medias, I'm really enjoying Substack. It's kind of a nice place to be. So there you go.
Yeah. Great. Make sure we have that link in the show notes too. Thanks for being here. And with that, let's go ahead and wrap up. That's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Blue Sky and Mastodon at intouchwithios. Support the show by buying me a coffee at intouchwithios.com/coffee. We'd really appreciate it. You can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. We have 2 tiers available to support the show. We would really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you are notified when we are live streaming, which is on YouTube, which is Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's on our YouTube channel. Thank you to Ron Fell. I completely forgot that we actually met at Macstock, and believe I do remember that now. Thank you, Marty, for reminding me. And you actually can go there, watch the past live streams, and you can listen to past shows. You can subscribe to the show in your favorite podcatcher, including Pocket Casts, Overcasts, Apple Podcasts, many others. Better yet, just go to our website, intouchwithios.com. All the links to each show is there on that site. I am Dave Ginsburg, and you could find me at the following places. Sunday nights on Neo Notebook with Marty and Eric. Monday nights on Vision Profiles on Marty and Eric. And Tuesdays on Mac Voices Live. Thursdays here on In Touch with iOS. And Fridays on the Tech Hangout, which I'm actually going to be on tomorrow. I've been off a few weeks, but I'm glad I'm going to be see everybody at the time. So with that, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We had a great show today, and we're going to be back next week. Until then, we'll talk again soon.